Super Trowel's now kind of in my head, but I can't get it to take off because I don't have the funds to do it. I don't have the time. I don't have anywhere to put it.
But it's still rattling around your head.
Still rattling on my head. And I turned up at Hertford Regional College. I set up my stand and I start walking around the college and I go, Super Trowel. This is Super Trowel.
It just clicked.
It clicked.
So the first one went amazing.
It had its faults. There was issues like
Mortar,
so we couldn't get enough water pressure into the silo.
Right.
We were just basically running it from a hose.
Bloody plumbers.
Yeah. People don't go on site and talk about, I built this fancy, I built this flat cambered arch or whatever. How many bricks do you lay?
So as an average then, what's an average decent bricky lay in a day?
Anywhere between, let's say, 700 and 1,000.
So what was the winning?
So last year it was 607.
607 in
1 hour.
1 hour.
4 companies that are going to be releasing products that have never been seen before. So they're going to use that as that platform.
And you just start the horn and there is silence. And it happens with the competitors. They all banter. And that's why we've had to introduce music this year, because as soon as they start...
Does it just drop?
Oh my God. It is just...
Silent.
Yeah.
Trade Legends, second episode of today. We had one in earlier and it's off the back of Installer Show. So I've got the husky voice, sound like Barry White, and I've lack of sleep for the last 4 days. But all is good. So today we have got the boys in from Super Trowel, and we just want to really have a little bit of a brief intro into how you got into your industry, not massively stretched out there like we usually do, but just a little overview of each of you, how you got into exactly what it is that you do, and then I want to sort of bring it back onto the Super Trowel and pin down how that started, what it's all about, and go from there, really. So
Cool.
We'll start off opposites.
And I'm up.
Right.
So I got in as a typical apprentice bricklayer, went to the college, picked up an apprenticeship with Taylor Wimpey,
Yeah.
did my time tested with them, then left and went for a smaller company. And while I was doing that, I had a friend of mine that worked at a further education college, who then turned around and said, it's an opportunity to do some teaching with some adults, 6 till 9 on a Wednesday. Went in, found my feet, haven't looked back since, and now just in charge of apprentices and level 2s at the college.
Do you like doing the teaching side of stuff?
Love it.
Do you?
Absolutely, yeah. It's nothing more passionate than seeing young people just...
What, that progression of when they come in not knowing...
Yeah.
Where they're
It's
at.
watching them develop, not only in brickworkers, but as individuals, and you see them just... They come in like all of us, ain't got a clue. They leave school and kind of go, I've got an interest in construction. Someone at home has turned around normally and says, you should be an architect.
Yeah.
And they come in and you just like, you watch them develop and watch them grow. And you're like, the furthest some of them are is from architects. But there's, and then when they come out the other end and I had one this week and you're able to turn around and give him his certificate and go.
Yeah. It makes a big difference to him, doesn't it? It's the journey that he's been on to get to that point. You've taught him since in the progression of him.
Yeah.
And
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have young men that, although they're big bolshy 16 to 19-year-olds, when they pass, I've had many of them in tears, and myself when they leave, because it's just a journey they go on, and then they kind of go, that's it now. I'm finished with college. I've got to go and go to the next chapter.
So you completely off the tools, as in...
Yeah, I just combined with teaching and this, you just don't have the time. You just can't fit it in, and it's just, it wouldn't be fair.
Yeah. What about you? How did you sort of progress from school into where you are now? Just dead briefly before we get into the main bit.
Just on a journey, really. Kind of went to college, started working for a small one-man builder up and down the country. Working up and down the country. Started up in South Yorkshire. Been down to Cornwall, South Wales, everywhere. I ended up near Colchester, and that's where I stayed. And then I had a bad accident about 5 years ago. Got hit by a lorry, done my shoulder, and I decided I was going to go into management. So I sold my PlayStation, done my SMSTS. I did, I genuinely sold my PlayStation. Done my SMSTS, done a few other courses, got my first aid done, and then I went and applied to a couple of big brickwork contractors. Yeah. Done my interview, got a job, and then from there I've just progressed. I'm now a project manager for a big brickwork contractor, looking after projects like $1 million plus.
Right, so you've got quite a bit on your plate as well then.
Oh yeah, no, it's not easy.
So between you two and then what's your journey then, just coming into it?
Started as a bricklayer.
Yeah.
Dad was a bricklayer, so I was laying bricks from early age, 14.
Yeah.
When I'd done the college thing, finished college, went out on site as an improver, done 3 years on site as an improver, then dropped back in working with my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, up until like the brick jacket side of things. So yeah.
Yeah. So what was that? What point did it come where you thought, right, there's something here that? Because if anyone don't know, you own it. You own
Yeah.
the Brick Jackets company. That's
Yeah.
your thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So where did that come about? Was that?
So that started in 2011.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, when I first sprang onto market. Yeah.
Right. So
time
and that's still
Yeah.
active now, running now.
Full-time role. So I went on full-time with Brick Jackets. I sort of run both businesses because Brick Jackets weren't getting enough traction as a business to
Yeah.
support the family side of things and everything. So then it got to a point where I had to make the switch to really focus on the business at Brick Jackets as a company. Probably about 5 years ago, went on full-time with it.
Yeah.
So I packed up Bricklaying about then. And yeah, here we are today. Yeah, still going quite strong.
So all three of you have got the background in bricklaying, but then you've also gone teaching, management, another business.
Yeah.
So then, okay, so getting onto the Super Trowel side of stuff, give us an idiot's guide to exactly what Super Trowel is, and then how you three come together, and where the brainwave of it started.
So that's going to fall with me. So
Was it your? It was the seed was with you.
Yeah. So I started Bricklayers Social Club, which was to try and bring as many bricklayers in the country together.
Yeah.
But I always had an end goal that I wanted to do a bricklaying competition in the UK. Because a lot of bricklayers used to watch Spec Mix 500, they still do, which is like the US's version of what Super Trowel is,
Right,
but
okay.
it's been going for like 30 odd years.
So that's a well-established bricklaying competition in America.
Yeah, but I mean, the Spec Mix is basically an aggregate company, so they was never going to bring it to the US, to the UK. So anyway, Bricklayers Social Club's been founded. We've got 30,000 followers, say, and then I start to I'm going to now evolve. We now need to bring the competition to the UK. How are we going to do it?
Because there's nothing at all in the UK about doing that.
There's many competitions, but they're all for apprentices. They're more skill based. Super Trowel is still a skill based competition, but I would say the other competitions that are in the UK now are only for apprentices, and they're also craft based. Yeah. So there's much more technical brickwork and details that are involved, and people don't go on site and talk about, I built this fancy, I built this flat cambered arch or whatever.
Yeah.
How many bricks do you lay?
Yeah. So as an average, then, what's an average decent bricky lay in a day?
Anywhere between, let's say, 700 and 1,000.
Yeah.
That's in a day. In an 8-hour shift, give or take. Well, it's about 7 hours, isn't it? By the time you
And it's
lunch.
about, you're getting paid, I don't know what the rates are because I'm a bit out of touch with it at the moment, but the last time I checked, you're about 650, 700 pound a thousand.
Yeah.
So you're still making good money.
Yeah.
So then Super Trowel, it wasn't even the name, I called it Masonry Madness.
Right.
But that name was really taken, so that it kind of evolved and eventually got to Super Trowel.
So this is just still you sat there going, right, I think.
I then started put plan in action, started going to a couple of people to see if they could help me. Because again, I'm just a manager working on a construction site, and I've spoken about it to people, but no one's really taken it serious just yet. So I went to a few companies, and it was it's going to happen, and then people just flaked off. It was like, it's a bricklaying competition. No one's interested. It's too expensive, whatever. And then this is now where Jack gets involved. Jack contacted me and said, "Do you want to come to the?"
How do you two know each other then?
So, I mean, part of having working at a further educational college is it become really clear to me. It was probably about 6-7 years ago. You could see that social media was building around construction, around bricklaying especially. And there was a couple of key people that had started some good social media. And I thought to myself, you know what, you can put a spin on education on that and highlight what goes on in colleges, because a lot of people think that when a young person goes to the college and they enrol in a construction course, it's normally, they're not very good at maths and English. They're going to go there. Speaking from personal experience, I mean, I was at college a long time ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And you kind of go there. They don't teach you that much. They didn't back then. I want to make that clear. Didn't teach you that much. They taught you the basics, and you learnt everything out on site. But it's not actually the facts. When you look at a lot of what FE colleges do now, there's a few key individuals that do it so well,
Right.
and that's recognised in the industry. But I thought, that what's the way of getting it out there? So create an Instagram account. It's just nice and simple. Can I say what it is?
Yeah. Please do.
So it's Hertford Regional College, just HRC Brickwork. Just started putting some bits on there. And then I saw Bricklayers Social Club, saw what Ash was doing, and you can see, you know, and started saying to the lads and lasses.
And how long ago was this?
This was I started the Instagram account.
Yeah.
Probably about 2000 and...
Bricklayers Social Club started 21.
Yeah, I was a bit before that, so I started...
So what, 2018?
Yeah, 2018, 20...
So it's on the point just where the social...
Yeah.
The Instagram especially was beginning to...
Yeah.
Get a little bit of traction with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it always comes down to, obviously, because you're working with young people, you've got to ask for their consent.
Yeah.
You've got to ask parent consent, can you put it on there? And then I saw what Ash was doing, also spoke to Joe, asked Joe to come in and do a talk to the lads about the use of brick jackets and all them sorts of things, and saw Bricklayers Social Club, and then I contacted him because I was hosting the Guild of Bricklayers competition.
Okay.
So I'd done a competition and said, Ash, look, I'd love you to come. Asked you a couple of times, you couldn't quite make it down to speak to the lads, but look, come and have a chat, and then
He was persistent. There was a few times I said I was coming, and I didn't come. Right. It was because I was too committed to my day job.
Yeah.
Which has always been a big issue for me to progress anything that I've been doing outside of work, because it takes a lot of my time. Bricklayers Social Club and then Super Trowel as well. And then, like Jack said, he invited me to the college. I finally turned up. I set up my Bricklayers Social Club gazebo. So
at this point, do the lads and the girls at the college, do they follow the Bricklayers Social Club?
They know Bricklayers Social Club, yeah.
So there's quite a buzz, I suppose, of that coming to the college.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is when you start bringing outside any influencers or channel in, they just go.
Yeah. I found it even with the plumbing side of stuff. We've got our plumber social. I should ask Point if it's off the back of Bricklaying Social. As soon as you bring something in the kid, I say kids loosely because it's not just kids at colleges now. As soon as you bring something in that they're aware of and they want to be a part of, their ears prick up. And you'll see that the more, yes, they're interested, but all of a sudden they're coming here with the social this Tuesday, whatever.
Yeah.
So and then it fires them up.
Yeah.
They want to go again.
Yeah, so the social club, like, it's evolved, and like my ideas in my brain just evolve daily. But it was, the whole point was to bring brands and the other influencers and people like Rob Songer, Charlie Collison, Stu Crompton, try and get them kind of people involved and make it a little bit more accessible to everyone, so that everyone can be involved, and it builds this big community. And it did. It just went mad. Literally, over the first year, the following just grew and grew and grew, and then we started actually hosting social events where we done one at SB Tools, and like I think the first time we done that must have been like 100 people turned up.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
So was you, Joe, part of the social at the time?
So Joe was one of our. So we reached out to different companies, and to fund the social club and everything that went around it, we had like brand partners.
Right.
So which were companies that were relevant to the social club, and because we had the followers, it made sense to then get the brands to then sponsor it and get the exposure through that, because it's straight to end user. And Joe was one of the very first companies that became a brand partner.
Yeah, I remember you called me, and I was like, yeah, of course.
So you rung Joe.
Yeah. So
and it was a conversation of, do you want to be a part of it?
Yeah. Just was sponsoring. I was be on the T-shirt initially, I think, and I said, yeah, of course.
So you as a social just looking out for sponsorship.
Yeah.
From Bricklayer's perspective, I was like, when he said Bricklayers Social Club and sort of conversation led on, I was like, yeah, great. Certainly, I was.
So yeah, I think. But then by the time we've got to so that was like 2021.
So at this point, you're all three are intertwined with that.
So if we was to put like a time frame on it, so BSC, one of the first sponsors is Brick Jackets. He comes on board, and then fast forward to
last year,
so 2023.
April.
We've now sold like 500. T-shirts and whatnot, and it's Bricklayers Social Clubs have done really well. Super Trowel's now kind of in my head, but I can't get it to take off because I don't have the funds to do it. I don't have the time. I don't have anywhere to put it.
But it's still rattling around your head.
Still rattling my head. And I turn up at Hertford Regional College. I set up my stand, and I start walking around the college, and I go, "Fuck, Super Trowel. This is Super Trowel."
It just clicked.
It clicked.
And what bit of looking at that then clicked you to say this is what it is? Just the layout,
So if anyone had seen the highlights of Super Trowel last year, is you've got this large like concrete indoor area, then you've got this mezzanine floor that goes 360 degrees right around it.
Okay.
So it's like a coliseum.
Yes, I have seen it. I've seen the picture of everyone piled round it looking down.
It's very unique in its design. So it was been restructured back in 2008, and when we initially walked in there. when I walked in there. So I've been a learner there before, and then when it got the transition and when it changed, I went back and I was like, this place is completely different. And from a visual aspect, I'd never thought about it, apart from I'd done a competition the year before, again, a Guild of Bricklayers competition for apprentices.
What was that then? Just laying bricks on a certain size?
Yeah, they get a drawing. They don't get to see the drawing until the morning. That's your drawing. That's what you've got to create in 6
So like
hours.
you said, Ash, there was these little competitions about, but nothing with a...
The thing is as well, these little competitions that exist, they are fantastic, and I'm a big advocate for them because I love detailed work and that.
Yeah.
But they take 6 hours.
No
one's got time to stand there for 6 hours watching a lot of people lay bricks. So it just hasn't.
Also, when you've got something you've got a time limit, you've got an hour.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah.
There's the excitement.
The excitement of it, and then you've got a
there's
big
key thing we'll
clock
come back
ticking
to.
down, going right, and you're chucking muck around and bricks about.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
the old famous thing with bricklayers. How many bricks do you lay a day?
It is.
When you enter
It's the
that hour
synonymous.
slot in it, and so you've got an hour time.
You could meet a bricklayer that you don't know. How many do you lay a day? That's like the go-to to see whether you're any good or not.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
always that measurable thing there, Mark, when you're turning around, you're saying about competitions, and you go, how many bricks can you fit in the barrel?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
How many can you put your shoulder?
It's
how many can you get a shoulder?
competitiveness, isn't
How
it?
quick can you get that? How
Competitive
quick can you get that
thing,
gauge knocked up?
Yeah.
So there's always that competitive element. So when Ash turns up with and sees obviously the space we got.
Yeah, you've looked up, seen it. It's like
Yeah.
a Roman bloody Colosseum.
Yeah, and then so the day's gone by, and then so Jack's boss comes, who's like the head of construction. He was like, "Look, really good to see you today. Like, thank you for coming. It's been brilliant. Look, if you ever need to." This is where he went wrong. He went, if you ever want to use the venue, like your college, you can use it. It's fine.
You was like that sharp. Anyway, funnily enough, I do.
Yeah.
I want it week Tuesday.
I think that day I said to Jack, I started telling Jack more about Super Trowel, because these guys, I still haven't spoken to these guys about Super Trowel.
Okay.
No.
Starts and he's like, yeah, let's do it, and you can use the college.
Yeah.
And then he talks to the vice principal, and she's like, yeah, I think it'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
So
Did you have to sell that idea? In your head, it's a mass. It's there. You've got every bit of that.
It is an
that
absolute-
idea. You've got it to the T. You know everything. Have you got to sell that
No,
to Jack
so
to sell it to them?
I'm like many people. I've got loads of ideas, like an absolute cluster of shit up there.
Yeah.
I've got every single idea, but how I put the whole thing together was where I was going to really struggle.
Okay.
Because I'm just not that organised. I'm organised in certain things, but when I've got all these ideas.
There's the idea. Sort it out.
So I've gone to Jack, and Jack's a little bit more calmer. He was like, we need to get the rams in place. We need to, and we started talking, and then once I'd announced it, Joe was straight on the blower. Ash, I want to be the sponsor for it.
So you've sort of spearheaded it.
Yeah.
You've put it out there.
Only like we've had a conversation.
Yeah.
It was literally a conversation.
What happened? I think you called me, didn't you? And I remember I was in my front garden, and Ash called me and sort of explained about the competition. I thought, I like the sound of this. I think this is brilliant.
Yeah.
And the next thing, I think we had the conversation. Phone went down, and I think I rung you back 10 minutes later, didn't I? I said, have you got a sponsor for this? And he went, no, not yet. I said, I'm going.
You want to be in no matter what.
I was, and straight away.
And he said, how much? And I said, there isn't a figure. I don't know.
Yeah.
I said, let's just make it happen. Let's just make it happen. What if you're happy to kind of come in it, and we just make it happen.
Sort of wing it at the start.
Yeah.
I suppose it would get, because you don't, at this point, you've in the early stages of putting it together, you don't know how much sponsorship you need.
No.
If you get 20 companies on, if you work it out, you go, right, we need 500 quid off each of them, we got this, and we know. I suppose at this point you haven't got quantities of anything.
No.
And you don't know where you're going.
Couldn't even sell trade stands because,
it's no one knows it.
No, so we literally said to them, this is what it's going to be, a bricklaying competition, like spec mix, because that's the only thing we can refer to.
Is that what you was comparing it to?
Pretty much.
And most people in the industry would know about that.
I mean, I knew about spec mix for being an apprentice.
Yeah.
It used to be shown all the time. It was a common thing.
Yeah.
You go in, fill out your portfolio in the classroom I was talking about the other day. You fill out your details, put your pictures in the folder, etc. And the lecturer would be playing spec mix in the background.
Got you.
So
So
you
that
just
was
have
quite
it,
prominent
yeah.
in the industry.
So let's say that I gone to the college on the 13th of May.
Yeah.
April it was. By the 13th of April, then come say the 15th of April, so 2 days later, that's it, full force.
We're on.
Three of us were on. We're doing this. And we start putting it out to bricklayers to compete. We start contacting trade stands.
Do you have a date for when it's going to be at this point?
So that was when it came to myself, is that, like you were saying earlier, did I have to sell it to people? And fortunately, you do have a few key people in that organisation that really understand construction, not only from an educational perspective, but also employers, suppliers, etc. And those key people, I think, were key to that success in the initial days.
Absolutely.
Of turning around and going, yes, we'll do it. Like the vice principal we mentioned earlier, a lady called Katrina.
Is it the vice principal at the college?
Yeah, vice principal Katrina. I said to her, look, we've done it for learners before we got this idea. She was like, absolutely, it sounds brilliant.
She was bang on board straight away.
Absolutely, she said, it sounds brilliant. It's fantastic for, like you say, it's for them learners, them next generation to see it and also celebrate bricklaying. Another key person was the head of estates team.
Yeah.
You're in an educational establishment. Yeah. There's the safeguarding aspect. It can't be done when learners are there. So then that narrowed it down to it needs to be done during the summer shutdown. And then there was this discussion, like Ash said earlier, about risk assessing. You go, all right, you can fit inside that particular building. There's always classes going on, but they're in segregated areas, in controlled classrooms, workshops, locker rooms, stuff like that. But it's like, right, how many people can you safely fit inside this building?
And that's stuff that you wouldn't have thought of.
No. And
so it's quite ironic, just listening to that story, is the two people, like, was there any more than them two? I suppose there was a few more, but them two key people that you've mentioned are nothing to do with that, but without them, the vice principal and who was the other one?
So there's three key people in like Ash.
Okay.
You've got the head of construction.
Head of construction,
a guy called Dave, and then Katrina, and then another guy called Ricky.
So without those people that they haven't got that vision at the minute.
No.
But without them three people, it ain't happening. It's
and
trust.
There's autonomy and trust there, and that's massive. That organisation behind there's that trust there to just go, all right, what do you want to do? We'll guide you and help you because we know our area. And I've never done events like that. I can run a construction site, fairly well, I think.
Running an event, it's a bit of a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and then the next part of it. So we've established a date. We've then started.
So you had a date. Sorry, what was the date? So the idea was the 13th of April.
Yeah, to the 17th. We went
2 days later, you're all on.
Yeah, a couple of days after that, I've gone back and looked at a date and gone, we'll go with the 17th of August.
To Thursday, yeah.
Thursday, 17th of August.
So what's that?
It was about
April, May, June, July, 4 months.
Yeah, it was nothing.
So do you then set your social media channels up for it? Have you got your...
No, so we actually ran it through the Bricklayers Social Club last year, just because it had the following. To then try and start another social, having done Bricklayers Social Club, we just wouldn't have got the reach the first year.
So now you've got to generate that buzz for it. And that's down to all of you then, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah.
And
I think the initial organisation was literally 12 weeks, I think, wasn't it?
It was the 27th of April I had the guild on.
There you go.
And we went from the 27th of April to the 17th of August, and it seemed to just go like that. And it was just...
While still trying to do your job.
100%.
Still managing building site.
Yeah.
And still doing your brick. You're just doing the brick jackets now, Just doing your brick jackets.
Even more interesting, I was actually doing an extension at Kensington Palace.
Fucking... Do you hear that thud then? That was a bit of a name drop.
And to make it even more interesting, when I'd done the Guild of Bricklayers competition at the college, both my lads are qualified for the final. So now I'm trying to prepare them on top of doing a cohort of learners to compete at a national competition for apprentices, which they went on to win.
So, did they?
Yeah, they went on to place first and second, and you just like but I think it's in that you have to structure yourself. It's no different to anything else of organising yourself on site. If you don't have that structure and organisation, it's that focus that you, and it's no different to it. If you're really engaged in it, you will switch on, you will focus. And you want it that much, you'll just go, bosh, let's do it.
Ladies and gents, just a quick one to say a huge thank you to our new headline sponsor, CT1, the best sealants on the market, voted for by the British public. Not only that, it's made in Britain as well, so go and support a product and a brand that is made in the UK. But I just want to say to you, they've got a brand new product out, which is the BT1. It's a combination sealant and adhesive like the popular CT1, but it's perfect for keeping a hygienic environment. And it's designed to completely stop the growth of bacteria, microbes, and fungus. And not only that, this stuff is strong. Now, it's going to be available at Travis Perkins, Wickes, Jewson's, and pretty much everywhere else, so there's no excuse not to go and give it a go. So we're really happy to be partnering with CT1.
So those months then, the advertising it's gone out, and I assume you've got plenty of brands on board, or a few brands.
No, so the only brand that we actually had on board were the ones that were the partners of the BSC, so the ones that were supporting that.
Yeah.
So Stabila, Footprint, Brick Jackets, BT,
yeah.
SB Tools.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I forget anyone. You see this?
Yeah.
But yeah, they're like our key ones, and that was it. And we just said, just give us a donation.
Yeah.
Again, you still don't know where you're at with sponsorship, do you?
No.
Because it's a new
No
thing.
idea.
No. And the thing is, the way it grew. So when we started looking at initial numbers, the idea was obviously when we had competitions before is everyone's kind of in the building. So you'd have them in the building and then round a mezzanine, like I said. You'd have a few stall spaces, maybe something in the backyard. And then I get a call a couple of weeks afterwards going, look, I've had a look on Google Maps. Can we use your courtyard space? This has got bigger and bigger. The key when it dropped for me was when Ash gave me the ticket sales of what had sold and how quickly it sold.
Yeah, so when we established our
Friday night,
finalists,
wasn't it?
we established our finalists. So we managed to get Charlie on board, Colson, Ash Mahoney, Luke Lovegrove, who'd done the one in America before,
Tommy Paul, Connor O'Kane,
Tommy Paul,
Luke.
Antoine.
yeah. So like they're all in their own right, social media. They're all,
Louisa as well.
Luke,
Yeah.
Louisa. That was quite hard to get them 7. It was really we struggled to get them 7 people on board. We put tickets on sale. We announced who the finalists were. Put the tickets on sale on Friday. By Monday evening or Monday afternoon, they were sold out.
It was done. 512 tickets, I think.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
I
512.
remember he rang me. He
Well,
said,
there was
tickets
initial
are on sale.
discussion. There were, I think we said 300. So I'd gone to the estates guy and said how much, and he said probably 300. We was like, oh, okay, no. And he rang back. He rang me and said, Jack, they've all gone. Is there any chance we can do any more? So it's then going back and looking at that next revision with the estates team, the health and safety bloke, looking at the risk factor. But then as it's grown, you can kind of go, okay. They said as long as there's no pinch points, everything else, and then you have to look at alternative stuff that, as a run an event. I mean, I run teaching classroom sessions, and we're all bricklayers.
Now look at us.
It's like
We're still not event organisers.
we're still not event organisers.
Yeah, but do you know what? That's kind of like
that imposter syndrome sort of thing.
Oh, massively.
yeah, but it's
Yeah.
you can look and you can have a laugh about it, and you know, and just chatting about the origins of it now, you should be massively proud, which I'm sure you are, of how you put it together in such a small, time frame, 4 months and that includes doing your regionals, because you go north and south, don't you?
We did do it last year.
Oh, did you not?
No,
okay.
no.
So how was that? Briefly, how was that? And then I want to try and move on to where you are now.
So what, the regionals this year?
No, regionals last year. How did you get it down to your finalists?
We put it out for application. We just messaged and bombarded. I put everyone in my mailing list, which was about 3,000.
Right.
Sent them out a message. Put it on the socials, and we actually struggled to get, like I say, the 7.
Okay, all right. So the finalists were pulled from social media.
Yeah,
Pretty much,
absolutely,
yeah.
To
And
make
people
the
that,
event.
And we
people that
did-
wanted
we-
to have a go.
We actually got a lot of stick from that last year because of people were just like, they're just social media bricklayers,
Okay.
they're influencers, that's why they were chosen. And if you've never heard of something,
Trying to get it off the ground.
you've got to use social media, haven't you?
Yeah.
I can put it in the newspaper, am I?
No, exactly. and you're not going to not put it out there.
No.
Because
Yeah.
you'll be rattling around there on your own.
Yeah.
No one knows about it.
Absolutely.
That is why us, I say the wider audience are content creators, because we have a pull of a certain thing, industry-wise, plumbing, bricklaying, carpentry. There's reasons why we do what we do and why companies want us on board, because we have a pull. So you're going to go to, content creators on Instagram and that, and get them there because people know them to come and watch it. And
100%.
that's what you've got to do.
Yeah.
So it's gone out then. So you've got your finalists.
Yeah,
You've got your date.
yeah,
The ticket sales are done.
yeah.
Then what? The morning of the event, arseholes twitching like this.
Oh, don't even go.
Morning.
there. It's the problems that we
had a-
didn't foresee with. It's silly things like you take for granted. It's like bricks and mortar. You need them. It's like the bricks turn up, they're as good as gold. We got a silo on site, and you're just like everyone's buzzing around, and then we
Stress.
Had
Is there
oh,
big
don't even
stress?
go there. I had a full head of hair before I started.
People coming up to me and like, it got to the point where I was running around because it's Jack's college, so Jack's still not really working for Super Trowel. He's running the venue.
He's running the venue, but he's
And
a vested interest.
yeah, and Joe's running Brick Jackets. We're all 3 of us are doing it.
Yeah.
But then I'm kind of like the key point of contact, kind of in a way. And if anything I don't know the answer, I'll go and ask Jack.
Yeah.
And I had people coming up to me, like, asking me questions. Like, you're right, Ash. I'm like, is it important?
Yeah, I've got
I'm
too much
I'm
going on.
He
No.
went into full site mode. He went into full site
Yeah,
mode. If we got
what
a
is it?
deadline,
Delegation, isn't it?
it was huge.
Is it
It was
important?
yeah.
No. Okay. Right. Well, see you later.
Yeah.
I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Competition day last year, we all got there at like 7 in the morning, didn't we? And there was
Oh,
already
yeah.
people outside the gate waiting to get in.
Yeah.
Before when you got there.
We
yeah,
did
but
the-
how cool? I know you're probably that
So
stressed, but you're
when
like,
it sort of
wow.
settled with me,
Yeah.
and it made me think, oh, okay, right. So we was all there setting up 7, 8 o'clock, rushing around doing all the last bits and pieces. About 8:45, my wife said to me, "Have you seen how many people are outside?"
Shit.
And the day before, obviously, we've been setting up crowd control barriers and bits and pieces like that. Thought nothing of it. Done that job. Moved on to another. Didn't think no more about it.
Yeah, I thought we had more than
That's
we
all.
did. So this is going to be aggravate. This is going to be annoying because you're going to have empty people just walking up and down like it's an airport.
Yeah,
queue.
yeah.
No, we
And
done
then
it.
that's it.
Didn't think no more of it. 8:45, I poked my head out the gate like that. I thought, oh,
Peek
they've all
behind
turned
the
up.
curtain.
Yeah, it
No,
was just.
it was full. People queuing, waiting to come in, and then I thought, do you know
crowd
what? That's
control
brilliant.
done. It was full, and it was down the car park.
Yeah.
Was there a big buzz on the socials about it, leading
Yeah.
into it? Was it real?
Yeah, I mean, I had when the stories started going up. I mean, like we're coming back to young people, I had learners turning around and saying to me, "Have you managed to get this person now? Have you managed to get?" And when you look at it, like you were saying earlier, you would not think 5-6 years ago that bricklayers, trade people, would be social influencers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You
it
just
still
don't.
blows my mind to
It's
this
just
day.
it
Yeah.
freaks me out because you
bricklayers.
just bricklayers, just
Yeah,
trade
yeah.
people. So you've got kids turning around and saying, well, like say kids, young people turning around and saying to me, "Have you got this bricklayer now?" And they're like, and it's like, it's brilliant, yeah, but you need to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning because you're knocking up.
yeah.
You're
yeah.
helping out, so
Yeah.
you make sure you're on time.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'll be there. And it's
Yeah.
just, I've never known it to be so early.
So the first one went amazing.
Yeah.
It had its faults. There was issues like
Mortar.
with mortar, so we couldn't get enough water pressure into the silo.
Right.
We were just basically running it from a hose.
Bloody plumbers.
Yeah. So there was a lot of there was some stages where there was a lot of waiting for people, people waiting for us to kind of get the show started, so to speak. The microphone went dead when I was not announcing the winners.
Yeah.
Just minor things, really.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
If I was an event organiser, I would have had a backup microphone because I'd have known that these kind of things
Yeah,
happen.
but that's kind of the
No,
the fun of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it,
And I think that fun aspect is what really shone through on the day.
And I bet everyone there understood it.
Oh, my God.
You know what? They're not going to be, oh, fucking microphone ain't working.
Oh,
the
no,
first
no,
one.
no.
I think the
Yeah,
first
no,
scheme of things,
no.
they were just like minor blips,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
like.
They were nothing. People
Because
that-
obviously we've done loads and loads of planning in the run up to it, and it's just you hit a couple of blips, and you know, as bricklayers and I suppose perfectionists, at the end of the day, you probably sort of took them little bits to art, but
Yeah.
really and truly, it's a massive learning curve. And like this year, I think we're just about iron all them little problems out. sort of thing.
So from the 9th of August, 18th of August, which
That
was
was it.
last year,
Yeah.
we started.
Yeah.
So
What, for this year?
Yeah.
So the competition finished.
So the day was massive success. Everyone loved it.
Yeah.
Ticked all the boxes. You lot high-fiving each other because you fucking smashed it.
And then straight up, to be fair, we went and had a beer, didn't we? And then the next day,
Well deserved.
it was us taking the walls down. So we come back
Is
here.
it still just you three? You got a few mates helping out and whatnot.
Joe's
Yeah.
wife's there. His son and
Got the missus involved.
Yeah.
If you want to see me this weekend, you got to come here.
Yeah. No, I think everyone got stuck in, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like my son, my wife, and obviously Jack,
And
Ash,
George.
and George from BT.
Yeah.
But I bet now this year everyone wants to be involved.
Oh, yeah, so
You got-
sorry, we misunderstood. We were talking
No,
about taking the walls down.
last year,
Yeah.
it was you, and it was like the scaling. It was you lot that put it together, and I just in my head quickly went 12 months forward and went, I bet now you've got people going, can we help? We want to help you.
Yeah.
Because it's a proven thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still also been a struggle because it's still not that proven that we're getting the full, shall we say, financial support from the brands because they're still like, yeah, but it's not really a show, is it?
Yeah, I think the second year is the right.
think-
We know where we're at.
Yeah, I think this year, you know, I think it will go fantastically,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. I think there's like a lot of companies that are sat on the fence this year. We're like, yeah, we'll have a look, see how it's going this year, and then perhaps we'll have a look
quite
maybe
sold
next year,
yet,
sort of
not
thing.
quite.
Like,
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier, obviously, when you were saying about about the brands and turning around, and also they have the commitment to the people above them.
Yeah.
So
They've
if
got
you
boxes to tick, haven't they?
If you get that initial person in the company, and Joe has a good metaphor, it's like peeling an onion. You need to get to the right
Yeah.
person. It doesn't always necessarily even mean it's the marketing person. It's
Yeah.
not also the
could
salesperson.
be
It could be
someone that's
someone.
got a little bit of clout somewhere.
Or that just gets it straight away.
just gets it, yeah.
And when we're speaking to them people, of course, you're coming to the table with this event, this competition that they get, but then them trying to say that in a corporate world, they kind of go, well, we've already dedicated our marketing budget to this event, this exhibition, that this is new to the game.
Do we put 10 grand into this that's new, or do we go to such and such a show
That's
that we know?
established.
It's an established show.
Yeah.
That 10 grand was a metaphor, yeah.
Yeah, that was a metaphor because there's so I mean the one thing that we've really impressioned on people because the people that were there last year have all seen it and all turned around and said yes, 100% we get it.
Yeah.
Is the end user experience.
Yeah.
That's what makes it different. Is the end user experience and a competition and the community. We had people last year that have been in the game 35 years. Tim from Footprint, who said, I've been in this industry 35 years, I've never seen a community of bricklayers get together like this.
You finished last year, now you're arranging everything for the 8th of August of this year.
Yeah, we didn't have the date. This geezer just rings me up and goes, we've got to do it again.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? And he said, I've had loads of messages this morning from brands and people going, when's the next one?
They're in now.
So
they're on board.
So everyone, and we're like, okay. So then we started looking at, obviously, where we could hold it. And
the next biggest of like...
So you want to go bigger and better, don't you? Next year.
Yeah.
So, but it's where the first people we contact was the NEC.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. And we started negotiating with them, we started getting some prices for one of the halls. And then we also knew about the skill build competition final taking place in the Marshall Arena in Milton Keynes. So we went up to go and look at that while we're still negotiating with NEC, and the three of us have gone up to skill build, and we've walked into the Marshall Arena and gone, this is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
This isn't like NEC, but this is a good size. This is manageable.
What makes it perfect for you then? What straight away made you go, yeah, this is it?
Well, as you arrive, it looks lovely, doesn't it? It's
Does
I was
it?
going to say the 70
Really,
grand
really
difference.
nice.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I was going to say
Come on, the 7 grand difference. Yeah, that kind of swayed it.
yeah, there's the 78 grand difference. Yeah.
But as you pull up there, you think
It's really
wow,
nice.
really
Yeah.
nice. It's a new modern building, and
Yeah.
certainly when you go inside as well, it's like
there's a lot.
right.
There's a lot of perks to the place in terms of as a venue. It's
Even
got
the
really-
layout of it.
That's the key thing.
Yeah.
It's got a great layout for the main body of the competition. You've got some balconies where you could have, which we've got now, which is a VIP experience. The service yard is there to go, bosh, we can get everything in that we need, and it's on that central corridor, the M1. So you're bringing it to a
everyone can
wider
get there, can't they?
logistically sort of
yeah.
perfect for.
We noticed very early on, so we had the conversation. I think it was on that day. Ash was like, "The only thing is, we can't hold it at your college again because it's too big."
Yeah.
And it's just, and also, we had them few different bits and pieces that I think if we're going to give this back to the people, and give them an experience, it needs to be at a different venue. So
you
that's the
stamped it saying we were having that. That's our venue.
Yeah.
And then the ball starts rolling. So you're getting more sponsors involved.
Yeah,
The social. So at this point, have you got? Is it? There's a standalone, obviously, Instagram account.
Yeah,
for
so
Super Trowel.
Super
So
Trowel.
that's gone into effect then now,
Official,
then,
yeah.
hasn't it? Official.
Yeah. We've
What sort of followers you got on that? Is that
not a lot really.
No, it's just under 4,000 now.
okay?
Yeah.
But the funny thing is when you do
And what
post
did
in a year.
Bricklayer Social got?
So it's
See,
29,000.
it's strange that a lot of them haven't gone. All
yeah,
I say a lot of them. You know, if you got a big one there, you'd have thought they'd have jumped on that as well.
yeah.
If you haven't, get on it.
And then the next step was Spec Mix.
Yeah, so we've established that we've got the venue. We've established our date now. We're in conversations with several companies. In fact, we had a whole spreadsheet full of names, contacts. We were nudging people saying, "You got a contact? You got a date?
Yeah.
Can
Literally just ploughing our way through, weren't we?
Yeah.
Sort of,
Lag steal and borrow like whatever we could to try and kind of get those contacts." And then I suppose the biggest thing for us was then to say we need to go to Vegas. It sounds, you like think it's a bit far fetched, but we need to go and see how the Americans are doing it. They're doing it. They're doing it in a big venue. They've done it really well for the last 23 years.
And I suppose it was always right to the wives. We've just got to pop to Vegas for a few days because we need to check this show out.
We had to convince them, so paying out of our own pocket to go to Vegas. You try saying to your wife just before Christmas.
Just
Just after Christmas.
But we had to book it just before Christmas coming up. And
we're not going, love.
just going
me and
to
the boys.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Just going to Vegas. So, what are you going there for? I'm going for a bricklaying competition. And they're just, you know what we said earlier, the silence. They just stare at you. And I really am. Like, and to put it in some context, they have the exhibition halls there that week. They had, So this is we got some. Me and Joe get to the airport, and
try checking in. We didn't check in before. We were going to do it at the airport. Me and him were trying to check in, and it's not working.
We're blokes who wouldn't have checked in before. We're blokes turn up there.
I did.
Oh no, it's me and you. Yeah.
Joe's got it
Super
nailed.
organised. Like,
No, he didn't do
full
it.
meeting that.
Candace's done it for him.
He got the okay then straight away
It
from the
gets worse,
gaffer.
but there's so many. Like, keep going.
So we're trying to scan the ticket, and it's not working. We've gone up to her, and she said, "Can you just wait here, please?" So me and him were like, "What's going on?" And Jim would like just feel sick because you fit like I just got anxious all of a sudden. I was thinking, this is such a big dream to go to Vegas to see Spec Mix, and there's so many bricklayers in the UK that want to go and see Spec Mix. I thought something's going to go wrong. I just didn't feel confident about it. And then some woman's come up and said the flight's overbooked. We were only there for 4 days. It was a very short trip, and she said, I can't get on the flight. What we can do though is there's a flight going to LA. We can fly you to LA. You'll have to stay the night in LA. Obviously, all paid for by them, and then we'll fly you to Vegas.
First thing
in the morning, but you'll probably get in Vegas about 1 o'clock afternoon time. So we're thinking we're well behind
We
already.
had a meeting
Like,
with Marshalltown, didn't we?
yeah, we had a few meetings with some big
We
companies.
had loads to squeeze in, didn't we?
She's saying we can go to LA, and I'm basically not quite, but I'm like in tears. I'm like, it's not going to work. We can't do it. That's it. We're stuffed.
Yeah.
And and I think she kind of took pity to me, and she went, "Leave it with me." So she went off again, and she
Was
came
your
back.
bottom lip going?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was well in the lot. It's my train.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she comes back. She says, "We've made it work." She's obviously given us one a very nice upgrade somewhere along the lines. Us two weren't too bothered about it. We didn't care. Because they were going to fly. They was actually going to fly us business class to LA.
Wow.
So premium.
Yeah.
But we was like, we need to be in Vegas tonight.
Yeah.
Which luckily enough, we got on the plane, and nearly 12 hours later, we landed in Vegas. And it's raining.
Never known it rained in Vegas. That's a good sign straight away.
So everything's going against you.
Yeah.
So we get there, we were standing in Luxor, and a couple of us went out for a couple of drinks, and we had one other guy kind of tag along with us, and get a sleep in, and that's it.
So you went there to have a look round,
Just
that-
the
that showed-
competition.
just to sort of
Yeah, so we went there with the intentions, like the guys we're all saying, is to just see how do these guys do it. They've done it for 20 years.
they've got it
But
nailed.
they've got it nailed. And being America, it's literally go big or go home, isn't it? So
Just see if
we've got
we
there.
can implementing anything into sort
Yeah.
of this
Yeah.
year's competition. You know,
Take note.
Yeah.
Oh, we could do that. We could do that.
Yeah.
So we arrived there. They got it all set up. They're on their setup day. We've wandered in with our general passes, kind of hiding them, giving it. We're definitely meant to be here.
Yeah.
Before we got out there, we managed to get our one of our first sponsors, who's no longer a sponsor, but we were like, we were out there. We're gonna absolutely nail this. We're all suited and booted. We're all wearing the same stuff.
Yeah.
And that was that key thing. So the first time we've had brand awareness sort of on our t-shirts, and we wandered into the main Spec Mix area. Anyway, one of the guys has spotted us and gone, "You guys are from Super Trowel from the UK."
Yes.
And that is the power of social media.
Yeah.
For someone cross Atlantic to turn around and go, "I recognise you."
Yeah.
And we was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Oh, we want to speak to you."
Because you know how the game works. You get noticed around venues around here to do with the industry.
Yeah.
You get noticed, but to travel across the pond, if I was to walk into something, you'd be like, "What?"
Yeah.
We was collared quickly.
We were straight away, and they said, "Oh, they want to talk with us." Now we assume, obviously, take your studio away. That's just a chat around the table.
Yeah.
No, they've come up 10 minutes later and started micing us up.
You're on stage,
And we're
boys.
like, you'll be on stage with Tom in 10 minutes. It's typical. You're on in 10 minutes,
Brilliant.
and we're like, we've all looked at each other like.
And you're barely there.
Well, first day off sunburn, I ain't put this factor 50 on. I'm cooking. Right, so now
we're sitting on the stage about 40 minutes after we arrived. Literally,
literally.
Mics.
Yeah, and you see it
Massive
all
screen,
on the Spec
like-
Mix on their YouTube channel.
And you're there going, we're just trying
just
to see what's what. Yeah.
And
Brilliant.
and the key thing there was,
the conversation got going,
Yeah.
and the next thing is like, that's it. The presenter, I'm not going to try and do an American accent, but he's like, we've now got the Ryder Cup.
The Ryder Cup of Bricklaying.
yeah.
was
So
like,
we're on there, and we're talking to him, and when they turned around and said, we was like, "So what are we going to be discussing?" "Oh, our partnership," and we're like, "What?" And like,
Brilliant,
and
mate.
I've
Oh.
turned like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
And we're 3 bricklayers. We've turned up, and then the guys are just saying, "We've seen it over there. It's amazing what you're doing." And then the wider conversation started, and then to throw in that term of turning around and going, "Hang on a minute." The Ryder Cup would happen, that the Super Trowel winner would come to Spec Mix and our winner would go to you.
Yes.
And we'd already had an application from someone from Philadelphia. So we actually had an American applicant, and we weren't sure because in this day and age, we was like, is it a scam? Is he, you know? No, this geezer flew over from Philadelphia this year to compete over here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
And
massive.
we actually got to meet him when we was in Vegas.
Yeah.
He was actually at Spec Mix.
It is the power of social media, and also taking the risk and the chance of going over there.
Yeah.
You've gone over there to see what it was. Straight away, you've been pulled up, spotted. So you, at this point, you must be going, we've got something here.
Yeah, I think very much there was a I suppose a sense of achievement in a way. It's like we've come to Vegas. We had a couple of meetings pre-booked with some really like Bontour, Marshalltown, the vice president of Spec Mix as well. So we were
So you're doing the right things. You're making the right
trying to
sort of
email people.
breaks.
And so we've gone out there and we've obviously done the whole competition. We've had the meetings with people, and it was just I don't know, mind blown, speechless.
Totally.
Just that it's a sense of achievement. The fact that what we meant to go and do, we've actually really achieved it and done it really, really well. And some,
It
if not
must
more.
be even crazy for you having that little seed in your head.
Yeah, I mean, I don't take too much credit for Super Trowel because the idea was actually Spec Mixes. I've just kind of brought it to the UK and made it a British thing.
And then, but the three of you between you have grown your idea, and it's your thing.
But our biggest thing was we wanted to get the we did want Spec Mix to be involved. We didn't want them to think that we've copied them. We didn't want to take anything away from them.
I don't think American people, businesses are like that. They want you. Americans want you to do well. Don't they?
100%.
Yeah.
If you pull up outside your house in a Rolls Royce in America, the neighbour will go, "Well done, man." Over here, they'll be like, "You fucking wanker."
Absolutely. Like we found that over when we was talking to people, and that's what I said. That's what we had a wider conversation within the group. We turned around and said, "That's the one refreshing thing is when you speak to someone over there, and you've got to remember they're still in construction, they're still just bricklayers, builders, etc. Is that when they turn around, they're like, it's amazing. In fact, they have an idea, and over here there's a lot of criticisation. I've got a few friends that they always want to make a product, an idea similar to Joe, create a product that should have been done years and years ago. It's there, boom, I've done it. But when you take it to your friends' family, they go, fuck off, don't be so ridiculous, go back to your day job.
Yeah.
Over there, they go, take that idea and run.
Yeah.
And that's the difference,
Yeah.
100%.
What was brilliant over there as well was the families that was there to support, whether it be their son or, there was the kids were in like, go on, Dad.
Yeah.
And, like the grandparents were there.
They're right in, aren't they? Both feet into everything.
It was great to see.
Yeah.
So if you was one of them bricklayers like competing at Spec Mix last year, how proud would you be, in your family's right behind you, cheering you right on. And I think that went like down so well with me. I just thought that was absolutely brilliant. But it just weren't one or two. It was like everybody, everybody competing there had literally an army of support from their family and friends.
One of the key things as well with the judges, which is why I wanted to go over there especially, is to look at the educational side of how they do it over in America.
Right.
Because over here we have 700 plus colleges, of which 8% of them, 90% of them do construction. Over there you've got all these states, and it's minimal. The actual colleges that offer it. They offer it a lot in school, funny enough, but they don't offer it a lot in colleges. And when you spoke to a lot of the judges, they was all college lecturers.
Right.
And that's when we got the idea of, fantastic, if you can't get a better judge than someone that checks brickwork every single day. And that was really refreshing happy to share ideas, and there's a couple that I've collaborated with and had meetings with, and it's exactly the same, that when you see like we said, the community over here is similar over there, but we've got it so much more.
Yeah.
It's diluted over there, whereas we are so much more intense over here as a community.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you wasting time? I think that some of you probably are, and I have a solution for you. Nobody wants to do any type of admin. Now, I have a solution for you, and it is called Tradify. It's a fully automated job scheduling, invoicing, and quoting all in one place. Now that software is going to save you 12 hours a week, and all by using a simple software solution. Now you can try it for 2 weeks absolutely free, no cards needed, and you'll even get support in person from Tradify themselves. Now when you're done, you can always come back to me and thank me, but just enjoy the extra 12 hours that you're going to gain from just using the software.
So you've been to Vegas, you're ready to go. So bringing it up to date now, you've got Super Trowel 2024, 8th of August.
Yeah.
8th of August. What is the criteria then on that day? what is the competition? You've got an hour. Is it an hour?
Yeah,
So just for people that don't know the exact rules and exactly what the competition entails in, give us a.
Well, the rules are on the website because there's a lot of rules.
Yeah,
It's
so
very strict,
not
but
massively into it, but like you've got to do this within this time.
you've got an 8 meters 990 mil wall, so it works out 40 bricks long, but total 80 bricks is a 9-inch wall,
Yeah.
215 mil wall, and you've got to lay as many bricks, good bricks, as possible within 1 hour. Any bricks that are at a level, plumb, not gauged, chipped, you're getting deductions for it. So, I mean, to give you an example, a chipped brick that's more than 10 mil, you'll get a 10 brick deduction.
Okay.
At your
So
final
you
count.
can lay that brick. If you don't see it, it can go down, but you're going to get a deduction for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is very much skill based in the fact
Yeah.
that you get every
gotta-
brick you pick up,
You've got
it's
to
got
pick
laid
it, check it, get
perfect.
ready.
Yeah, and there's that team. I was speaking to one of the finalists the other day, and they were saying that's pretty heavy for chip bricks. And it was like, well, your hod carrier's working with you. And again,
Okay, so you've
it's
got a hod
about-
carrier with you.
Yeah, it's about quality. He's turning around and working as a team, and he should be checking your materials before he hands you to him, and then you do the double check as a craftsperson.
So there's
yeah,
no load preloading out.
Yes. Yeah. So it's if we start from the hod carrier as well. Yeah, there's the hod carrier element. We had that last year. So the hod carriers have a race of their own.
Right.
So it's a race to load out to a specific measurement, just a layout plan of going. They need to load out to this, this, and this within it, and whoever does it in the fastest time, then that's rewarded because hod carrying on its own is a it's a
an
skill.
art,
It's an art.
yeah.
It's a skill. It's a trade.
I think it's really important
Yeah.
to bring the odd carriers into the competition as well,
Yes.
because the bricklayers only is,
Yeah.
without an odd carrier,
Yeah, you ain't doing it.
we've tried to be just really strict about it having to be a hod carrier because they don't exist anymore. They are near non-existent. It's almost a trade, but not quite.
Oh, I see. So you can't just have your normal labourer. You want specific
We want hod
hoddies
carriers
on it.
because we want to revive the hod carrier.
Yeah, okay.
element to it.
Like
Yeah.
that. Like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we just diverse back to an average brickie
750 to 1,000 thereabouts
in a day.
a day. So call it a bricklayer's day, say 7 hours.
Yeah, yeah. So what was the winning?
So last year it was 607.
607 in
1 hour.
1 hour. That's loading out, hod working.
Yeah.
No, so that's just laying the
That's
brick.
just laying.
Yeah.
Right,
Just
okay.
laying.
So the hod carrier bit is a separate
Yeah.
Yeah.
part,
Yeah,
right?
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 607 last year.
And how close was that then? How close was? Do you have first, second, third?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so how close were those first, second, third places?
It's about 100 brick difference, I think.
Yeah,
It's a
between
hun-
the three. Yeah, so it comes down to the deduction. So one key thing that when you go to the industry, when you say to people, and there'll be people watching and turning around and going, you lay as many bricks as you can in an hour. The one thing we had to fight against is just going to be a slashing competition,
Yeah.
isn't it?
They
People
can
are just
throw
going to
it in.
slash it in front. Oh, you're going to use profiles. You're going to do that. Key thing is no profiles. You have to build a corner. You have to make sure it's gauge level plumb. All the tolerances are as tight as you like.
Because
5
they're
mil.
checking them. Your judges are checking them.
And I think that's
17 judges.
I was going to. That was my next question.
Yeah.
At judging
and
wise,
it's harsh. It's there's UK standard is 8 mil. We go down to 5 mil. So
Right.
if you're at 5 mil for level, gauge, plumb, voids, chips, purple alignment, absolutely.
I bet just judging that after the hour is
That's what
Time consuming.
There's 15 different elements that are judged on. Each judge has to judge that particular element. Obviously, you'd be there all day.
Yeah.
So you got one judge doing plumb, one doing level, gauge.
And how are they against each other? In this hour, are you 7 finalists?
Yeah.
No, this year's 12.
12 finalists, so will all 12 go at the same
Oh,
time?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a mental thing because you can see your competition.
Yep.
So you're going, fucking hell, he's there. And
So in the regionals we had that. So it's like 2 regionals this year,
Hmm.
one in Warrington College, one back in Hertford Regional College.
north-south thing.
North-south.
Yeah.
And that was, we said, look, let's build it right. No different to you would do as a
Hmm.
tradesperson. Let's do it, start it small and build this organically and build it right. So we did two regionals, and we had 30 competitors, and we had 17 in the south.
So actually
And
72 apply this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
72 people applied. That then, because we look, because it's new, there is a fee to it. You have to pay to apply to compete. So then when you start getting people to put the money where their mouth is,
Yeah.
they want to do it. Bearing in mind that we do feed them, we clothe them, we took them all-
hotels.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You look after them.
Yeah,
then.
Yes,
Oh,
we do
God,
look
yeah.
after them. We just don't have the funds to take that out of the pot just yet. So,
Yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
hopefully it'll come.
Yeah.
So that 72 then became 30.
Yeah.
If it was going to be more, we would have done more regionals. But it would have been like we'd have done 2 days at North, 2 days in the South, say. But it turned out that we could run it over 2 days, one in the North, one in the South. So it was 30, wasn't it?
Yeah, and like you were saying there, Mark, is that what we found this week it's the first time we've met with all the competitors. So we took them over to Germany.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's the first time the majority of the 12, with the exception of the fella that came over from Philadelphia, he qualified for the final.
Okay.
So he come over really just two brothers, Phil and Nick. They've come over. They've invested their own money to come over and compete.
It's not a cheap trip, is it?
No, and they were spot on.
Even
They were just they were really
imported their own bricks.
yeah, they imported their own. Yeah, they'd gone to
imported
that level.
British bricks to practice.
Yeah, I know.
Is there a difference then?
Yes.
Is it American
Yeah,
bricks,
the smaller.
Yeah.
right? Well, ours are smaller.
No, theirs are
Theirs
smaller.
are
They're
smaller.
So
Believe it or
yeah, when we're speaking to him this week, one of them you could overhear the conversations, and one of them's turning around the other one and going, "Oh, I saw you had this method, and I saw you was half a wall ahead of me, and you was that many bricks." And I'm thinking in my head, "Shit, he's ahead of me. I've got to do this. I've got to do that." And then it's the usual competitive banter. So you've got some pretty big names in there.
But then also you build by putting them all together on a plane. You're building
rapport, massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that it adds that element. You have a race with your mate, there's that edge. You have a race with a random guy, okay, whatever race, but as soon as you got that, afterwards now the banter's going to be there. Oh, I seen it was here, and your man done this and whatever.
Yeah. And go on.
Yeah, because I mean, the way I look at it is, you've given anyone an opportunity to be, not become famous, but to hold a title, which is a very prestigious title.
You want it to be prestigious, don't you?
Yeah. So
It's got to be.
the Americans call it the
perfect.
world's best bricklayer, which I think we like over here. It just wouldn't work. You couldn't say that you're the world's best bricklayer because you run a wall in quickly. It just doesn't. It doesn't sit with us over here. So we went. It's the UK's fastest bricklayer. You would be a.
Okay.
You got so many judges. It's so strict that there's not. It's the UK's fastest bricklayer, and that is what it is. So you win there. You've then straight away got that attention that you're officially the UK's fastest bricklayer. I mean, we're trying to see if we can work out if we can get the Guinness Book of World Records involved.
That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Is there a record?
Yes, but it's in a different setup.
Yeah.
So the world record at the moment, it's actually an Englishman that holds it, but it was all built English bond, off the deck, not jointed.
Okay.
But it was like nearly 900 bricks in an hour. And it was with one of our competitors last year. It was his dad.
Right.
Yeah.
Luke loves Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had a conversation. Was like, would you be bothered if we tried to break the record? He says no, because you're not going to do it in the same context.
It's different, isn't it?
It's completely different.
yeah.
So you would never take that away from my dad, so to speak. And it's like, because we don't want to take that away from him.
Yeah.
He's no longer here either. So
Yeah.
that was the last we wanted to
A bit of
do.
a legacy for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, there's an opportunity as well that we could potentially do that as well, which is really cool.
So how many bricks were laid last year that winner laid?
607.
607.
Yeah, and he got 100 deductions, so he went down to 507.
Yeah.
Then I believe we had.
Well, Vegas was
4.
754, to give you an idea. So he was not a million miles away.
Do they do the same?
Yeah.
Not as strict, though.
Not as strict as yours.
No, not actually. A few mil difference and
Okay.
tolerances there. Yeah.
So with that all in place, then it's gearing up this year to be a really good day of 12 finalists
So yeah,
head to head.
Yeah, well, so last year was 514 people, about 30 trade stands, 7 contestants at a college. Nothing wrong with the college, but it was just not a college.
Yeah.
It is what it is. This year now we're looking at 60 trade stands, 1,550 people attending, 12 contestants, and
At an arena.
At an arena.
In an arena.
And there's everything going on there, Mark. We've got everything. We've got
VIP area.
We've got VIP areas. We've got t-shirt cannons. We've got the competitors
DJs.
have got DJs. The competitors have got entrance music,
6
like they're walking
6
out down
lorries
to the
out the
Royal
front.
Rumble.
Really?
Oh, it's
Got
gone.
cold
If we're going
sparks
to do
going
it,
off.
we wanted to create an event, which hopefully we have. Is it doesn't matter if you turn up and you're an apprentice bricklayer, right the way up to a principal contractor, house builder. You go to that event and go, that was
It's
a great
an
day.
it's an event.
It's an
For the
event.
people.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a competition, but it's an event.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
and one conversation that we've had you know, as it's led up to this, is we are now creating something that's bigger than just a one-day event. It's building a brand that we can just then back it and go, and that is a brand that's come from that community of bricklayers. It's the one thing that whenever decisions we've made, the companies we've worked with, the decisions that we've looked at, how we financially committed to stuff, it's, okay, what impact has that had on three people, namely the competitor, the attendee, and the sponsor?
So how many judges in total is there?
17.
17, yeah.
Wow.
So that's
I suppose to get through because you've got your 12 contestants.
And it is,
the judges
it is
are
so
separate from
slick.
us.
Yeah, it's so slick. And in terms of, like Ash was saying earlier, they all have their own criteria. They're from all different backgrounds. So you've got one of the judges, she's a site manager for Morgan Sindall. But they're all from quality aspects of quality control
Of the
brickwork.
industry, yeah.
A lot of them are from education. And there's some other really key people.
They have their own meetings. They have their own email conversations that we're not even part of.
No.
We wouldn't even know what's being...
All through volunteering.
Yeah.
It's great though.
That's the one thing. Is
And
all
the
through
fact that
volunteering.
you've got those top end people involved in it as well, it just gives it more authenticity, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It makes it the pinnacle of what it's doing. So during that day, have you got other little smaller competitions going for apprentices or?
So that was when we went over to Vegas. When we looked at this before, like Ash said at the start, there are them apprenticeship competitions for craft-based stuff. So it was like maybe it wouldn't be respected in the industry of going, you're teaching apprentices to go as fast as they can. When we went out to Vegas, we was talking to one of the guys, and it was the vice president while he was being interviewed. He's holding up this sign saying Spec Mix Junior, Spec Mix Junior. So
Super Trowel Junior.
Super Trowel Junior. Sorry, no, but he was saying bring someone over. That was what it was.
Yeah.
He was saying you need to bring someone over here. So then when we got back, we was like, right, we need to look at running this for apprentices as well. So what we did again is we've held 2 regionals at the same colleges. So you had my learners compete again, like I said earlier, removing myself from it.
Yeah.
Had the same panel of judges, and the same up at Warrington as well. So from them colleges, you've got 2 individuals, 2 learners coming together, and they'll be competing as well on the
nice.
with this. And it's the ultimate prize is
We're taking an apprentice to Vegas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
All paid for.
Yeah.
brilliant.
Compete
So
in,
this-
in Spec Mix.
yeah.
Oh,
So
they are going to compete there as well.
Yeah.
So the winner of Super Trowel goes to Spec Mix to
even
compete.
the apprentices.
And the apprentice
Yeah.
goes there
Oh,
to complete the
brilliant.
junior. So when we started planning it, obviously for me, I was like, imagine being an 18 to 20-year-old apprentice and your college says to you, you're going to enter this competition and there is an opportunity for you to travel to Vegas.
to travel to Vegas, B, to take part in that
World
one.
stage of bricklaying. And it's just when...
That'd blow your mind, wouldn't it?
Well, like we were saying...
No,
like,
it's never been. No one else has ever done it in the
No.
UK. Not even take away the competition of brickwork in construction. That's never happened.
Yeah.
No one's been given that opportunity.
No.
Not even for us as adults.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
And when we did the regionals down at the colleges, it was hilarious because obviously when, like we were saying earlier, you go to a college and when you go to a bricklaying college, all right, even if you with the best will in the world, is that there'll be days when it's just, you know, that they're a pain in the arse. They, you know, won't come back from lunch late or whatever. This particular day, as it's been for a long time leading up to it. Since Super Trowel, they've switched on massively because they can see where they can go.
Yeah.
And that competition day, I was like, right, same as the regional. You've got 45 minutes. It's a smaller length wall, similar to the one at Spec Mix. You need to lay as many as you can, and you just start the horn, and there is silence. And it happens with the competitors. They all banter, and that's why we've had to introduce music this year because as soon as they start,
Did it just drop?
Oh my god, it is just
Silent.
Yeah. It was
Silent.
funny last year.
I didn't think it would be.
No.
Last year at the final, there was a lot of I don't know, excitement in the air, a lot of nerves,
A
and you could
buzz.
sort of feel it. In as soon as you walked in there, you could feel it. There was I don't know, yeah. There's a funny atmosphere in there. And as soon as like literally the horn got sounded to start the hour race, literally the atmosphere changed again.
Did it? Just
Yeah,
dropped?
it was
Ash
like
Mahoney said to me-
serious mode.
Not dropped, just switched.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it happened
it
in the
does.
regionals as well. Actually,
Yeah.
regionals at Hertford and at Warrington as well. You walked into, everyone was excited. You could sort of feel the nerves in the air, and like I said, once that horn sounded again, ready to start the race.
I didn't think
Yeah.
it'd go like that.
Like
Yeah.
everybody's poker face came on, and the atmosphere
That's-
changed
that's
again.
good.
And
Yeah.
in the last 5 minutes, I think it's on the highlights, you can hear Ashley shouting, "Come on, cheer us on!" Like because everyone's
It was
just
still
so-
silent then.
It starts
Or
to build a
the
little
crowd
bit.
buzz.
They're just having a chat, but there's almost a level of. I think there's definitely a level of respect there for the competitors. Like, do
Yeah.
we want to put them off by
Like a
shouting?
You don't want to be the first person to go, come
It's
on.
like the first
Bob,
person at a
yeah.
buffet. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to be the first
me.
person to
It's this
go,
guy.
100%.
It was like a game of snooker, honestly. It
Yeah.
was.
Wow.
So you could have had a pin drop. What we've done with the design for it is we didn't want it to be like typical expedition.
like corporate shell scheme and all that. So we're actually encouraging like a bit of shell scheme done by scaffolding, bit of shell scheme like done by Harris fencing,
OSB boards.
OSB boards.
It's going to look like you walk into a construction site. Obviously a safe one, but it's going to feel like a home from home.
And that's where us in the industry perform best.
Yeah,
If it's an alien environment in a competition format, it's not the place where you would do your best work.
No.
You make it a site.
Absolutely.
You're at home.
And
You're in.
when we spoke to all the trade stands, our question has always been, there's a couple of questions, is can you sell to the end user? So when we spoke to them, and if they're saying no, we're like, okay, we need to find a way you can, because there's nothing more frustrating as a tradesperson as you walk up and go, my God, I absolutely love that. Is this new, mate? Yeah. Can I buy them from you? No. Oh. You're like, and then you have to try and haggle with him for 5 minutes trying to get a freebie. And it never happens, and you're like, I'll put it down. And then you may, and it's things like that. And when we've spoken to a lot of brands, there are some real special edition bespoke products.
Yeah, like we've got 4 companies that are going to be releasing products that have never been seen before. So they're going to use that as that platform, and then we've also got a couple of companies that are actually manufactured products specifically for this event, and just to get that level of kind of support from some companies is just mad. Like Stabila, for example, they don't print anything on their levels apart from Stabila, but they've actually gone out their way and printed Super Trowel on levels specifically for the competition, which is like
for the winners.
No.
Oh, for the competition itself.
For the 12 contestants.
Okay.
So 12 contestants.
They're going to be using them.
Yeah. And it's like Bulldog. So Bulldog, when we went and had a chat with them, we was talking about, for the competition in terms of product placement, shovels, etc. And we had I think it was Ashley turned around and said, a common thing with a tapered shovel is as a bricklayer, you cut
or ground worker.
Or ground workers. You cut 2 or 3 inches off the tip of the blade of the shovel. And he was like, do you reckon you could manufacture? And they was like, why? And that's the key thing, is that we hope is that a lot of trade stands are going to get out of, is having that conversation with an end user and going, you should do that. And that's a conversation that we was like, we all do it.
Yeah.
Why do you do it? Oh, because it's top heavy and stuff like that. And they were like, yeah, of course we can. We'll manufacture it.
When you're trying to like mix up a tap of mud and you've got a full shovel, you use a lot of surface area to try and move. Yeah. Cut it by half. You can you're mixing straight through it.
And they've manufactured it, powder coated it with the Super Trowel logo, and it'll be available exclusively on that day.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
and it's things like that.
Little things, yeah.
You want that as you turn up, you go, I'll go to that event and I got that there.
Yeah. You could only get that day at that event.
Yeah. And
but it just it sounds like you've got everything in place. It's gearing up to be.
It'll be
the
I mean, it's
the event.
Yeah, when people are saying it to us, it's like we don't know because it's the first one. We did the first one, but we did the first one back in the FE college. But until we've gone that first circle, it's no different to when you price the first extension and you get it either right. You price it too much and then you're making loads of profit, which
it's probably going to be next year's one
because
we're not going to have got this year nailed on. There's going to be.
No, I think there's a lot of things we will improve on what happened last year, certainly, but then there'll be room to improve again.
You're always going to improve. You're always going to tweak and evolve.
Absolutely.
But it's going to be the best event that is going on in this country for what you're doing.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. The biggest thing for next year is we've going from 2 regional heats to 10. So we now got 10 regional heats across the UK, including Ireland, of turning around and going, we would do 10, so you have from them 10.
I just love how it's evolved into that. This one's not even done yet, and you're already.
Oh, we have to.
Well, the maddest thing was actually we need to rewind a little bit because we just come back from a spec mix, and I got an email coming through from someone at Juicens. I was like, Juicens, that's pretty big, and they was like, we want to sponsor it, and then we was like, well, we just thought it was a little bit of a sponsorship, and then we was like, we want to sponsor it.
Headline sponsor.
Main sponsor.
Yeah.
So then next thing we know, we're kind of having conversations with Juicens and Wienerberger, and they're like, we're going to sponsor it.
Yeah.
So you've gone from nothing wrung with brick jackets.
Little brick jackets.
Little this guy.
Little old brick jackets last year as the main sponsor, to now we're with the UK's largest builders merchants and on the world's biggest brick manufacturer sponsoring it.
But that's what you boys have put together. You've done the graft, you've done the hard work, you've done the hours, the stress, the phone calls, the meetings, the emails to get to that point where a brand like that wants to be your headline sponsor.
And what's hilarious is we have these like teams meetings with like head of marketing, events directors who'd like go across the country doing events. We're just free bricklayers. We've had
best
some
way
owners,
possible, yeah.
owners, directors of some big events. I won't name them, but they've shown a lot of interest in wanting to purchase the competition.
Don't
and
keep out of it.
And we, the three of us have, and some of the like the kind of like forecast figures, unbelievable. But we're like, no, this is for the bricklayers, this is for the builders,
Absolutely.
this is because that's why we do it.
Yeah.
No,
we have done.
Hats off to you. I can't wait for it to come round. I'm definitely going to be there. I want to get the boys, the Trade Legends lads, to go down with the podcast.
Absolutely.
We'll come down. I mean, we've had a lot of bricklayers on here over the time, so we'll know we'll know a lot of the lads down there. Do you want to give a quick shout out to where you can find information about it, where people can get? Is it sold out?
No.
Right,
Yeah,
where
not
people can
just
get
yet.
tickets from,
Hop
your
onto,
social media handles, all that sort of stuff. Basically, I'll open the floor up. You can punt your wares if you like for a little bit.
Eventbrite for tickets, Super Trowel.
Yeah.
You'll find all ticket information on there, and supertrowel.co.uk on the website. You can get tickets through the website as well.
Yeah, and you've got Instagram, which is supertrowel_official, Facebook pages, LinkedIn page. We're on all of them. YouTube channel, which is Bricklayers TV. Some of our stuff's on there. Then, like Joe said, Eventbrite is where you get all the tickets.
And for those people that can't make it for whatever reason, if they're outside the UK, it's being live streamed.
Right.
So
On your YouTube?
no, on the tools. So on the tools.
Oh, okay. On the tools are in here as well.
So on the tools, we spoke to on the tools. They said absolutely, saying something is definitely they want to back and support, which is fantastic from them. So we had it confirmed this week. It's going to be live streamed across YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
Via on the tools.
Yeah, on the tools
and our
and ours
pages
as well.
as
Yeah,
well.
so simultaneously.
They've got a little bit more of a following than us.
At the moment. No, lads, honestly, Jack, Ash, Joe, having you in has been brilliant. To hear
Cheers,
the progression of it, hats off to you to what you've done, because seeing that little seed in your head and then seeing it or listening to it evolve and the story behind it.
It wouldn't be anywhere. I had the seed in my head, but to be honest with you, it would never have been where it is without these two. I mean, Joe backing it kind of, what should I say, financially from the very
first
beginning.
headline sponsor, Joe.
That's it.
Very proud also.
for you,
And
mate.
Jack kind of pushing me to come to the college. Like, without the three of us kind of doing what we've done, it would have never
You're all
happened.
massive inputs into it. So hats off to you. Well done.
Team.
It's going to smash it. I can't wait to come
Travel
down and
the
see it. Yeah, well, how big is it going to go? It's going to go massive.
Yeah,
Europe,
we have.
I think Europe. I think we'll take on Europe next.
Fair
Yeah,
play,
I think
boys.
we'd like to open up conversations and see if there's anyone, because we know that it's bricklaying is all over the world. It's literally
Everywhere.
as far as
Best
you
trade
and
in the
everyone's
world.
been yeah, absolutely.
So finish on that one. No, honestly, lads, massively looking forward to it. Thanks for coming on.
Lovely.
It's been brilliant.
Cheers,
Thank
Mark.
you.
August the 8th, Marshall's Arena, Milton Keynes.
There you go.
see you there.
Super
He's on
Trowel
it.
24.
Oh, he's on
He
it.
knows it, doesn't he? He knows it all.
Tickets on Eventbrite.
And we'll see you there for sure.
Yeah, I'll be there, definitely.
Just like as a note, like the tickets are like only a £5.
Is that what
Yeah,
they
they're
are?
nothing.
2 for
Yeah,
1.
they're 2 for
For
1.
fun.
They're nothing. We want it to make sure it's accessible as much to as many people as
Yeah.
possible.
And I think there's still free tickets on Eventbrite
For apprentices. Yeah, we
He's
give
good,
200.
isn't he?
He's brilliant,
He's
isn't he?
good.
So we give 250
I say
tickets
quite
free
well,
for
no.
apprentices.
Well, that putting 2 pennies worth in right there, aren't I?
No, boys, absolutely looking forward to it. It'll be brilliant. And I want to take the podcast down. So I'm putting it out there now. We're bringing the podcast down.
Fantastic. Cheers,
There you
Mark.
go. We're there.
It's happening. Cool. It's done.
Sorted.